Hi, and welcome back to our van build series where we've been turning this parcel delivery van into a tiny home on wheels. And today we're proud to announce the availability of a new cabinet framing design. So this one that you see in the van, we currently offer as a kit, and based on your feedback, you all love your Dometic chest style refrigerators and ask that we come up with a smaller design that will fit in more vans based around the Dometic refrigerator. So that's what we have here. So we are working with an excellent supplier of 80/20 branded T-slot aluminum, and basically this kit comes with all the aluminum pre-cut to the right size. A schematic shows how to put it together and all the fasteners and hardware that you need to get the framing. And in addition, we also provide links to drawer slides that you can use in order to get yourself a simple drawer box built, as well as a simple drawer slide to hold your refrigerator. And we've also designed this with a cabinet which you can use to store anything, but it's made to accommodate the water system that we've designed and described in detail on our website at OurKaravan.com. So let me show you really quick. Basically, this cabinet is designed where it has 4 orientations. If you move this bar down, you can actually move the fridge up and have the drawer below it. You can also slide this bar over and move this one over, and that means that your refrigerator and your drawer will be over on the right side, and your water cabinet or your cabinet, whatever you want to put in it, will be on this side. So it has 4 different orientations that you can put it in. And as far as functionality, we have this one designed with locking drawer slide, full extension. Of course, it's missing the drawer fronts. And then for the refrige slide, we step down on the lever and release it. Pull out the fridge, also on a full extension slide. The purpose of these kits is really to help out the DIYer, because we all know that there are enough trades to learn in order to build out one of these vans. So this should really speed up the process for you. What it'll do is provide you a really strong and flexible foundation on which to build the rest of your galley, and it also gives you the option to customize it in the way that you want. So you can use mahogany, you can use bamboo, you can use regular nice birch plywood with polyurethane. This allows you to get the look that you want. This design allows a lot of flexibility. Basically, in order to finish it out, you will select your countertop of choice. A lot of people use like an IKEA style or butcher block countertop. We've provided hardware on the top where whatever wood you use, you might put some wood inserts in the bottom of the wood and then put screws up through it to attach your countertop of choice. This is designed around our OurKaravan water system. So there is a top mount or under mount, it could be mounted either way, sink that fits in here, faucet, and then the water system containers that all can go in here. You can use this compartment for anything you want, but it's designed to accommodate our water system. It's also designed to accommodate, of course, the Dometic fridge. This one's very popular. This is probably the most widely used one in vans. It's also the one that you guys have requested. So in addition to adding the countertop, these sides are generally finished out with probably 1/4-inch plywood is what we used, and the ends of all of these profiles are tapped for a 5/16 bolt. So you can just simply bolt on the end caps, and then really that leaves the drawer faces, and it gives you the flexibility to use 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, whatever you want. So basically, what you may want, if you don't like the look of the aluminum, you can do like we did up here and completely cover it with wood. You will need a small cutout for the latches, and I've seen a lot of these designed where they don't fully enclose the fridge for ventilation reasons. I see them usually cut somewhere around the 1/2 mark. And then over here, there's hardware in here so that you can mount up a couple of hinges to have your cabinet door to access your water system, as we have done here. Another thing I'd like to point out is these cabinets are not van specific. They are not built around any particular type of van. As long as it has a floor to sit on, and ideally back up to a wall where you can either slide some carriage bolts into the back slot of this aluminum and have it penetrate the sidewall of the van, or you can also attach angle brackets. You can put plus nuts in the wall. It's not specific to any certain van. Okay, I'm going to give you a quick descriptor on the sink setup in case you're curious about that. So we are using this faucet. Unfortunately is discontinued, but there are similar ones that we can link down below. This is a 15 by 13 sink, and then under the sink are the water containers along with a strap system that retains them, and then the pump is tucked back there in the back. So we will include links to all the parts to do that. As for our countertop, it is 1/2-inch plywood. It's got a little veneer of bamboo glued to the front with some black laminate on the top, but I've seen a lot of IKEA and butcher block countertops that look excellent as well. And then the end caps, again, are these profiles are threaded, so we bolted on some 1/4-inch bamboo end caps, and that keeps these setups pretty reasonably light because there's only 1/4-inch end caps, there's no back to the cabinet, there's no floor in the cabinet, there's no dividers in the cabinet. So the aluminum offers a lot of strength, and you get a lot of weight savings from not having all of that wood inside. All right, let's go talk about the kit and what it includes. We'll begin by looking at what's included in the kit, then we will build it together, and then finally I will show how to install the drawer slides, build the drawer boxes to hold both the refrigerator or cooler, depending on what you decide to use, as well as the drawer box, which you can place above or below the refrigerator. I have taken the kit out of the box, and this is what you will find is included in the kit. It has all the profiles required. It has the schematic to show how to put it together, as well as all the install hardware. So the only thing you need to assemble the actual framing is these anchor fasteners, all of which are included. And then we also have angle brackets and some hardware to install the countertop. The only tool that will be required to build the galley is a 6mm Allen. And then we also need a 3/16 Allen simply for installing the countertop hardware. Let's talk about how this goes together. So this is the schematic. It's included, but if you happen to lose it, you can go to the website where you bought the kit and it will be linked. So this shows where all the profiles go. So the A profiles are the bottom front and the top front are A's. And then each of the profiles are labeled. So this is profile A, and there are 2 of them. So that shows where they go. You have one B profile. The B profile is this lateral that runs across here. The C profiles are the 3 front legs. The D profiles run across the bottom, or the back, top and bottom. We have an E profile, 3 F's, and the G profiles. So you will all find those accordingly here. So let's go ahead and lay these out and start putting it together. The dimensions of the galley are 22 inches in total width, 34 inches in total height, and 50 inches wide. These dimensions were chosen to basically be able to accommodate the most popular style refrigerators and ice chests that people use in vans. Now, as you cut open the wrapping, keep in mind that the label that labels the profiles is attached to the wrapping. So what I do is just take a pencil and mark the profiles. You can keep them all together on the workbench, but once you get it on the ground and you start building it, if you get confused, it might be helpful to have a label that's easily erasable right on the profile. And let's just take a second to appreciate how nice the machining and the cuts are. I have all my profiles labeled. I didn't bother to label these 8 G profiles. They're the 19-inch wide ones. There's 8 of them. It's pretty clear where those go, but you can do as you wish. There is no incorrect order for assembling this, but I'm going to start by assembling it on its back. So I will lay the back portions out on the floor, and then I will build up from there. So that means grabbing our 3 F profiles that make up the 3 back legs, the 2 D profiles that make up the back laterals, as well as the E profile across here. D profiles, E profile right there, and our F profiles, 3. Okay, let's fast forward to the future for a minute. Here's our completed galley, and something that I want to point out is the diagram shows these anchor fasteners being in certain orientations, and the fact is it doesn't matter where you put them. So the way that I have this one built and shown in the diagram, the anchor fasteners on the ends are all pointed out, and that's fine. When you go and you build out this, you will be installing end caps to cover those up, so they'll be completely hidden. And by the way, the ends of these profiles are tapped for 5/16 bolts, so that's what's going to hold your end cap on. But another thing that you could do is if you flip these profiles around, that would move the anchor to the inside. So if you did that, they wouldn't be hidden. You'd see them inside the cabinet. Who cares, right? But it might offer you more serviceability so that if one did come loose, you could get to them inside the cabinet. So on most of these profiles, you would just flip it over if you want to move them to the inside. The only exception is these front pieces, because they have one face that's not slotted. If you flip it upside down, that will move the fastener inside. So it does not matter where you put them, just maybe make a decision up front whether you want them facing out or facing in. Let's start by attaching this lower left corner. Then we'll attach this lateral because that will set the width for this. Then we will attach it here. We'll attach it here. Okay, let me show you how these fasteners work. The first thing we're going to do is going to unthread the T-nut on the end. You're going to put a couple drops of Loctite on the threads where it contacts the T-nut. Thread it on, and then this drops into the special milled receptacle, and then the T-nut simply slides into the track, the slot of the profile you're connecting it to. And once it's in, you simply use your Allen wrench to tighten it up. And that forms a super strong and clean connection. This galley can be built in 4 orientations. The orientation that we're building today has the refrigerator in the lower left compartment. So I'm going to set the height of this E profile at 9¼ inches below here. And that is just to accommodate a Dometic 55 refrigerator, which is the most popular refrigerator used in vans, and I'll link it down below. That'll leave room for it down here. But you can adjust this up and down to any height you want. Basically, you just want to probably maximize the size of this drawer. So I'm going to set it at 9 1/4, but it can easily be adjusted. Now the dimension of this bar is 31.5 inches across. So measure 31.5 inches here, and then you can slide your T-nut in to the profile and bolt it down, confirming that you're at 31.5 inches. And now you can simply add the end piece. So slide in the T-nut, an anchor fastener, and bolt the two together. Now let's build out the bottom so we can stand this thing up. So let's take 3 G profiles and the A profile, we'll bolt them up. And just note that only this far right profile sits on the ground. These sit up above this profile. And you can simply drop in the fastener with the T-nut and just slide it into the profile. And for right now, we're temporarily going to set the height of these maybe 1/2 inch above this profile. We can always adjust it later because we need room for our drawer slides to mount here. So drawer slides will be here and here. So we'll lock it down at about 1/2 inch above and adjust it later for the drawer slides. And now we can tighten down the one on the end. Before we put in this A profile, let's go ahead and add these 2 G profiles, and then we can lock the top down. And again, these bars are to accommodate the drawer slides for the upper drawer. So we'll set its height about 1/2 inch above this bar, which we set at 9 1/4. All right, future me here. In the next step, I'm going to have you installing these profiles. But before you do that, I want you to take 2 of these T-nuts, and I want you to slide them in the profile with the bump facing out like this. 2 of them into this profile. In this one, obviously you're seeing a drawer slide there, that's what we're going to do. In this profile and in this one. So you want to have 2 T-nuts in each one of these profiles, and you'll want to slide 4 into this profile, and that's because you can use it for mounting the 2 hinges for your cabinet door. So again, 4 of these in this profile and 2 in each of these profiles for a total of 12 before you get to the next step. Now we'll slide in our C profiles and make sure that the solid face is pointing forward, since you may see that. And the anchor fastener, if it's not pointed the correct way, you can just flip the bar upside down and it will face the correct direction. And now we can slide the anchor fasteners into these 2 profiles and slip in our lower A profile. Now I've simply stood the galley up so it's in its normal orientation, and we're going to fasten the ends of the G profile to the front face. Now we're going to slide the anchor fasteners into place at the tops of the rear legs, and then we will slip the top lateral profile into place. And just note that when you see me install the anchor fastener on this right rear leg, I have it oriented with the anchor on the inside, and for consistency you might want to move it to the outside like the other legs, and you do that just by turning the profile to face that direction. Now you just want to measure and confirm that since the E profile is 31.5 inches long, that you have bolted the top up square. That way your drawer slides will operate smoothly. So just make sure the main compartment is 31.5 inches wide. Now install the front B profile with the flat side, solid side facing out. And this is going to be set the same height as that back lateral, which is 9.25 inches below the top profile. Now we're going to install just the upper left G-bar. You'll note I had trouble getting it to fit. The tolerances of this thing are really tight. It's cut to 1/64 of an inch. So if you're having trouble getting a piece to fit, in this case I just loosened one of the anchor fasteners on the drawer slide directly below, and it fit in just perfect. So tighten up this upper left corner, and then we are going to slide in some hardware to mount the countertop, and then we can move on to installing the rest of the top laterals. Now take an angle bracket, a bolt, and one of the T-nuts. Put the bolt through one of the holes of the angle bracket, put your Loctite on the end of the threads, and put on the T-nut, and then slip it into the slot, and you can tighten it down. We're going to do 4 of these. We're going to do 2 on the ends of the profile. We're going to do 2 directly in the middle, and then we have some other things to add before we put on the final 2. Now you can install the middle G-bar using the 2 anchor fasteners. And then following that, slide in the remaining 2 countertop mounts. Those will go back at the end of the profile. And then finally, the last step is to install the last G-bar that's in the upper right corner of the galley. And then that's it for the build of the galley structure. Okay, that should be everything you need to know in order to get your galley framing kit assembled. So we have a companion video that we've released that shows how to install the locking drawer slides, as well as to how to build the drawer boxes. So that should get you pretty far along the way. Down below this video, there are links to where you can buy the kit. But if you're looking at this through a browser and you can't see the description down below, you can always go to OurKaravan.com, and in the van build section, we have a page that shows the various kits that we have available. And there are also links and articles that describe what you need to, say, if you want to add a water system like ours to your galley. All the parts and instructionals you need to do that are all there. Also keep in mind we have a very complete YouTube channel that shows every aspect of building a van. So we appreciate you guys watching, and we hope to see you soon.